mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, I never thought that it'd ever come down to this, but you know, I respect the joint drug, you know, treatment program, and unfortunately, you know, we couldn't figure out how, you know, this particular substance got into my system, and at the end of the day, it falls on me to try to, you know, prevent that, and unfortunately, it's somewhere it got into my body, and I don't know how, but it is what it is, and I just got to try to move on from it.
You've obviously had injuries in the last couple of years. Was there something different that you started taking that you were trying to take because of the injuries?
No, I mean, honestly, like, you know, I did when, you know, did all the treatment that I did with the PTs and all that, and nothing has changed. You know, and that's what's frustrating about it. I was like, you know, I worked my butt off this off season, you know, since getting the surgery. I feel like I'm in a good spot, you know, and then, you know, from an off-season drug test, this comes up. So, you know, I've been dealing with it. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, it falls on me, regardless of what, you know, even if I could figure out how it got into my system, it still falls on me to try to prove that it was unintentional. I was like, and unfortunately I can't, because I don't know where it came from. You know, but I respect the program. You know, I think it's a great thing for the game, and I'm just going to serve the suspension and just try to utilize the time off to try to get, you know, healthier.
Stephen, can you give us a sense of timeline here, when you found out, and whether you thought about appealing, or whether you did appeal, or how long did you know?
It was from an off-season test. I don't know the exact date, but yeah, I did do an appeal, and through the process, you know, I realized that the burden completely is on me. Unfortunately, we couldn't, through the, you know, supplement testing and all that, the things that I knew that I was testing came back clean. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You know, somewhere it got into my system, and it's unfortunate. It was such low levels that that it literally could have been from anything, and you know, we couldn't narrow it down on what it was, and so unfortunately, like I said, it falls on me to try to prove that, and unfortunately I could not do it.
But when did you get notified of the positive?
It was in the off season at some point. I don't know that. I'd have to go back and look the exact dates.
What's it been like the last, you know, few weeks here, both trying to rehab the knee and kind of having this hanging over you, knowing that a suspension was possible?
I feel all right. I mean, because I know the truth, you know, and that's the biggest thing. You know, I went through it last year, and it was hard last year because I'm a private guy, and you know, and all of a sudden my life becomes public. With this, like, I know the truth, you know, and people close to me know that I wouldn't intentionally do this to try to get upper hand. But it's unfortunate. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, I knew it was coming. You know, I wanted to do everything I could to try to figure out how it got into my system. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, it was in there. Like, I can't dispute that. Like, it was. I trust the testing. I mean, they do an amazing job of, you know, finding guys that are doing it. But unfortunately, sometimes things can get into your system, and that's what happened with me. But it's one of those things, like, I try to stay positive as I can. I feel like I could be a positive through this and just utilize the time off, although it's unfortunate, but I can use it to my benefit.
Steven, did you feel obligated to tell either Alex or someone with the Red Sox at all when you first found out?
You know, I felt like I should. I told him about a couple weeks ago. No, last week. I don't know the exact date, but it was last week. Yeah, I did. I felt like obligated because, you know, although, you know, it's unfortunate, I felt like they have, you know, they have all my respect. I mean, they've been supportive through everything that I've been through my entire career here with the Red Sox, that they've been here, and, you know, they know, you know, he knew that it's part of the program. You know, it's unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, because I knew it was coming. You know, it's just, you know, I kind of held out hope through the arbitration or the hearing and stuff, but, you know, I knew it was inevitable, and so I felt like, you know, my obligation to tell them was I had to, because of just the respect that I have for them.
Stephen, when did you find out that your appeal had failed? Was it today?
Last night.
Last night.
Yeah.
And you said it happened during the off season. I know you don't know the date exactly. Before Christmas, after Christmas, or?
It was sometime after, I believe. I'd have to look and see. I can ask the union and see if they want to release that information. I really don't know it because you get tested so many times, you know. And so it's one of those things that is sometime in the off season, and then, you know, I've been dealing with it, you know, since I got notified.
Stephen, did you tell any teammates today or have any interaction with them?
No, just a couple. I mean, it's one of those things. It's a distraction, and, you know, that's the thing that people that know me, like, I try to be as quiet as I can as far as, like, things from the outside, and it's unfortunate 2 years in a row it's a distraction now, you know, and that's something that I've always tried to pride myself on, is being a good teammate, and unfortunately this is not a good way to start off a season. But you know, it is what it is. There's nothing, I can't change anything. You know, all I can do is just keep moving forward, and you know, and I feel like, you know, I got enough support from the team that it's going to be a grind. But you know, I feel like there's no way I can't, you know, that I'm not going to get through it.
The fact that you wouldn't be eligible for the postseason, how much does that kind of affect your mindset?
It sucks. I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, it flat out sucks. I mean, but you know, that's the agreement, you know, and I like the agreement. Unfortunately, it sucks for me now, but I think it's a deterrent for future people of violating the program. But it is unfortunate, you know, and there's no way to put it. There's no easy way to try to dance around it. I mean, it sucks. It's gonna suck. But at the end of the day, you know, I got to just serve the suspension and just move on.
You obviously had an unusual surgery that most baseball players haven't had. Do you think this is in any relation related to that? Some kind
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, we did the research. I mean, I turned over everything. You know, it was a pretty rigorous investigation as far as trying to figure out where it came from, and I don't think it's from, you know, any of the doctors. I know for a fact it wasn't from the doctors. It somehow got in there, but it was such low levels that it could have come from anything, you know. And it's such a new drug that's out there that, I mean, just trying to figure it out is tough. I mean, it's a tough process.
The investigation handled by the union or by your agents, or?
It's both, you know, just trying to figure out, talk to people, try to figure out how it's possible, and you know, just go from there.
Yeah. So it's not something you do on your own.
No. The union, did a great job at trying to help me figure this out. I mean, and they did everything we could within the agreement to try to fight it, you know. But it comes back down to me, you know. Somehow it got into my system, and it didn't matter the amount. It was.
There's nothing that you know, you've been in pro ball for a long time. There wasn't something you started doing differently this offseason than you had in the past?
No, I mean, and that's the thing. I've been in this game, I mean, 12, 13 years, you know, and like I've never, I mean, even when I did all the drug tests this offseason, there's not one time in my mind that I ever think that this would be possible, you know, because I feel like, you know, I'm pretty careful, but I guess I'm not careful enough. At some point, it did enter my system, and it ended up showing up on a test, and it's unfortunate, but it did. I mean, the burden falls on me, ultimately.
Hey, guys, thank you.
Thanks, Steven.